my wife. Some people out there say that aircraft mechanics are the invisible superheroes of the aviation industry. I agree with that because I'm an aircraft mechanic, so. But let me let you all know here that your superpower is not being invisible. Your superpower is being indispensable. When a pilot reviews the aircraft's paperwork before the first flight of the day, it's your signature that's already there telling the airplane is ready. When an aircraft lifts off the runway, it's the work you did inspecting or repairing it that made that possible. Aviation maintenance is not glamorous. There are no standing ovations for discovering a cracked fitting during a routine inspection. There are no medals for fixing a chafed wire at 3 o'clock in the morning. But make no mistake, every bolt you torque, every panel you install, every decision that you make can be the difference between a safe flight or a catastrophe. You are the backbone of aviation. I've been working in aviation for quite a while, a lot longer than I would like to admit. Are there any veterans here today? Raise your hand. Thank you for your service. I began my career working on F-15 fighter jets. I worked as an engine mechanic, an aircraft mechanic, and even a training manager on A-10 aircraft. My service took me from coast to coast and across the ocean to Europe and the Middle East. When I retired from the military, I also left aviation for a while. But my experience as an aircraft mechanic allowed me to work on trains, cars, and even a dredge floating in the Ohio River. That's a story all by itself. The problem is none of these things had wings. Ask anyone who has worked as an aircraft mechanic for any length of time, and they will probably tell you aviation maintenance is something you love to hate or hate to love. So, with 20 years of military aviation experience behind me, I decided it was time to get my A&P certificate and go back to work on airplanes. A piece of cake, I thought to myself. But that's when the real learning started. Civilian aviation is a completely different world. Getting through the FAA written, oral, and practical exams was one of the toughest challenges of my career, which brings me back to all of you. I know what it must have taken for many of you to reach this point. A lot of you were balancing jobs, families, financial commitments. Some of you had to overcome self-doubt. Some of you, like me, had to relearn how to learn. But you showed up, sometimes early, sometimes late, often tired or frustrated, but always determined. Right? You stuck with it. And now you have the knowledge and the skills to turn your effort into excellence, your training into precision, and your tools into results. You've studied, you're ready. But the real challenge hasn't started yet. The real challenge is what you'll face every day as you go to work in the aviation maintenance industry. No more multiple choice exams, no more hands-on projects, just real-world decisions that you'll need to make. This means you're going to work under pressure. This means facing tight deadlines. And sometimes this means working in gray areas where it's your judgment and integrity that will matter more than a checklist or a manual. But that's okay. You've been there. You got this. Some of you already have your airframe certificate from the FAA. That's an impressive achievement. Everybody. All of you have what it takes to complete your FAA exams and join the club as fully certified A&P mechanics. You got this. The talent, oh, my gosh, the talent for keeping aircraft airworthy isn't always found in books. It's found in you. It's found in your ethics. It's found in your craftsmanship. It's found in your commitment to doing things the right way, even when no one else is watching. You got this. Remember, being an aircraft mechanic isn't just a job. It's a responsibility. It's a privilege. It's a commitment to never stop learning. You got this. Families, friends, thank you. You stood by these graduates through the long hours and the late nights. You encouraged them when they were unsure, and you were their quiet strength. Graduates, your journey as aircraft maintenance professionals begins right now. Whether you go into general aviation, corporate jets, the airlines, or somewhere else, never forget the weight or the worth of your A&P certificate and your signature. You are professionals. You are the future of aviation maintenance. Congratulations to all of you. Okay, so now I'm going to read your names. As I call you, please come up to receive your certificates. Once everybody gets their certificate, please sit back down for a few brief words from Josh, our COO, and then we'll conclude. Okay, so as I call your name, please come up and get your certificate. Okay, so I was told I have to make fun of this first student. He struggled sometimes, but he showed up, he did a good job. So Anthony Clark, please come up and get your certificate. Good job, Phil. Anthony also happens to be my son. Okay, Ashton Cobb. Hayden Dorsey.
Yes, sir. Just wash the cars, bro. Just wash the cars.
Skylar Engelkins.
Oh, yeah.
Shane Ferris. Spencer George. Brandon Lusk. Brock Miller. Brian Moraski.
Let's go super speed.
Aiden Ramirez. Randall Satterwhite. Chris Yu. Evan Whitesides.
The truck broke down.
Phoebe Wad. This guy's here for Joe.
Daniel Zipkin.
I'm a dog on all of it. I couldn't come home.
You're the future Snap-on guy. Maybe Snap-on guy.
Go Snap on.
Scott Zook.
Congratulations, all you guys. So before every class leaves, I try to kind of give the same speech almost every time. So some of you might have already heard it. I started my career as an AMP a little bit, I didn't start it. My career went a different direction than most AMPs, I would say. I started my career sweeping floors in an airplane hangar 23 years ago here at Epic. I had a few mentors back then that my plan wasn't to become an aircraft mechanic. My plan was, it was kind of cool to work around airplanes. You know, I was in my early 20s and it was neat to be in an airplane hangar and close to airplanes. And I had a few mentors, like one of them sitting over here, this gentleman, Tony Perna, that would come in the hangar and convinced me to do the apprenticeship program and get my AMP. And I did. So 3 years later, I had my AMP and I worked my way up through the shop and ended up being a director of maintenance for the school, and then later the vice president, and then now my role is the COO, and help build the aircraft mechanics school and get it started. But going through all of that, I always had different mentors that were kind of give me advice and tell me different things, and there's one that always kind of stuck with me, and then I have another story for you that kind of helped me as well. But one of the biggest ones was when you guys go out in the world and you're aircraft mechanics and you're working on stuff, there's always gonna be times that you gotta make a decision on, is this the right thing to do? Do I need to replace this part? Is this the right decision? And is this gonna be the safest choice for the passengers on this airplane? You're gonna have aircraft owners that come up and say, hey, like, do we really have to replace that? I a couple $100,000, and we just move on. So you're always gonna face these things. One of the easiest ways to make that decision is to think, will I make this choice, whatever it is, whether to replace it or not, and then will I go home and will I get my son, my daughter, my sister, my brother, my parents, my grandparents? Will I go home and get them, and will I put them on this airplane and let them go on the first flight after I'm done? Easy way to make the decision. If the decision's yes, then you know you're making the right choice. If you have any kind of hesitation at all, then it's not the right choice. For me in my career, that was always an easy way to make that type of decision in life, the decision as a mechanic. And one of the other things is more of a story, and it's about integrity as an aircraft mechanic. And again, this was a big one on Tony Perna. When I first was an apprentice and I was working out on the line, and I was probably a couple years in, and I got to a point where I was actually allowed to go out and do some of the work on the planes, a little more in-depth stuff. I'm taking spark plugs out, And I had to pull them all out. The job was to pull all the spark plugs out, clean all the spark plugs, inspect them, and put them back in. So I'm out on the ramp, and I pull all the spark plugs out of one engine, and I go, I set them in these racks. You guys have all seen them now. We have the racks that we put all the spark plugs in. Well, I set them all on the wing, and I start taking them out of the other engine. I get like halfway through the other engine. So now I got 12 spark plugs or something sitting in this rack on the wing. Well, the wind shifts a little bit, and the door pops open, swings open on the airplane, hits the rack, and knocks the whole rack on the ground. So, if anything you guys have learned, if you drop a spark plug on the ground, anything higher than this, the next place you should drop it is the trash can. So, me knowing that, all right, these things are all trash, but also knowing that they're $40-something a piece. They're not like your normal automotive $2 a piece spark plugs. I had to pick them all up off the ground and walk inside and tell my boss at the time that, hey, I just, wrecked $500 worth of spark plugs because I wasn't paying attention and I set them in a spot on the wing I shouldn't have. Now, I could have picked them all up and stuck them all back in the rack, and just the way they break, if anybody's ever seen them, and you all have one in your bag right now, you have a brand new spark plug in your bags that I gave you guys to kind of remember this. If you look at them, they're solid metal on the outside. They're not like the one on your car. If they break internally, and you'll never see it. So you could put them back in the airplane, nobody's ever gonna see it. Now when they start failing later and having misfires and stuff like that, most likely if they're cracked. But you don't know if they're cracked, and it's something you can't see. So very easily I could have picked them back up, cleaned them, put them back in the airplane, and not said anything. But what's the risk of that? Spark plug, spark plug starts failing in the air, engine loses power, what happens next? So just think about those kind of things, and I will tell you, my boss at the time had more respect for me. I go in there thinking I'm probably gonna lose my job, and I actually gained respect, because now I'm sure if I would have done it, over and over again, I wouldn't have a job anymore. But when you do mess up, just have the integrity to walk in there and tell your boss you messed up, and you'll save somebody's life doing that. And I guarantee you they're gonna respect it. And if it's somebody that doesn't respect you doing that, then it's really not the right place you wanna be working. But that's my 2 cents and my little bit of advice, and that's something that I've always kind of carried with me through my career that I think's helped me, and I hope it helps you guys. So again, congratulations. You guys enjoy your journey that's just getting ready to start. It's gonna be incredible, I promise, and I can't wait to hear how everybody's doing. Congratulations, guys. You guys want to do a class picture, or do you want to do a speech?
Yeah, you
What?
I don't know. Everyone's pointing at you. I thought maybe you were going to do a speech or something.
Yeah, I think our class
You like the class speaker or something. You're going to use
I don't have anything prepared, but my guys, the last 2 years, 22 months, 23 months, we've been together. I'm proud of each and every one of you. We've sacrificed, we fought, we've argued a lot, we've solved a lot of problems. We were a team, all of us, each and every one of you. I'm gonna miss you, but do great work. Do great work. Take pride in your signature, represent your family well, represent your name well, and like Mr. B said, it's your signature. Protect it. Right? So protect your license. I'm proud of all of us. I think we're all going to do great things. We've represented Epic well. We were a big class. We were rowdy, but we're at the finish line, guys. And so, cheers to us.
You guys want to come up here and do a class picture, and then we got started.
Yeah, sounds like they already made that.
Carson, I don't think you get up here.
Get up.
I'm stuck.
Ask what's supposed to be.
Carson, get up here.
Want me to take your seat?
I think we need the wide lens. We need the wide lens.
Good? Come on, squeeze in, y'all. Squeeze in. I got the widest guy next to me.
Maybe try one more thing. One more?
Alright, that's $100, y'all.
Skylar, go a little bit that way. Ashton.
Hold my hand.
Guys.